Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün dünyanın en iyi 100 üniversitesinde yer alan University of Alberta'da eğitim ve başvuru koşullarını Nicole ve Katice'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Katice, the stage is yours now.
Thank you so much. Merhabalar everyone, hoş geldiniz. Welcome to the University of Alberta session. My name is Khadija, and I'm the International Recruitment and Relations Coordinator for the Middle East and Africa. And I have my colleague, Ms. Nicole Dewart, with me. And we are going to speak to you a little bit about the University of Alberta. So just a quick introduction. I have been working with the University of Alberta for about 8 years in international recruitment. I am originally from India. My family immigrated to Canada. I was born and raised in Edmonton, and I'm also a graduate of the University of Alberta. So it's my pleasure to be here with you. Nicole?
Yeah, thank you, Katisha. So my name is Nicole Dewart. I am the Senior Coordinator at the University of Alberta in the Sponsored Student Program. So what that means is I work with international students who have scholarships from their home countries. I'm from Edmonton as well. I was born and raised. I'm also a graduate from the University of Alberta in the Faculty of Education. And I work primarily with graduate students. So I'll give you a little bit of information today about graduate programs. So I think we'll get started.
Perfect. So what you see here is a view of our beautiful main campus. The University of Alberta is located in the city of Edmonton. Our main campus is centrally located just south of the city center, south of the North Saskatchewan River. So the view here is from the downtown to across the river to the main campus with all of our main academic research facilities. So some of you are probably wondering, where is the University of Alberta? We are located in Western Canada. So we are in the city of Edmonton. Edmonton and Calgary are the two major cities in the province of Alberta. Edmonton is the capital city of the province of Alberta. And we are from Turkey, you would take a flight from Istanbul to Toronto. Toronto to Edmonton is about 3.5 hours by flight. So that gives you a little bit of an idea where we are. And so many of you are interested in studying in Canada. Of course, you probably know a little bit about Canada. Some features about our beautiful country. We are about 37.5 million people that live in 10 provinces and 3 territories. It is a large country geographically for a smaller population with 6 time zones. So definitely from coast to coast, we are a large country. We are an officially bilingual country, so we speak English and French. Alors, si vous parlez en français, c'est super. If you don't speak French, don't worry. French is mostly spoken in the provinces of Quebec and in New Brunswick. Majority of the other provinces have English as a majority language, but over 200 mother languages are spoken. It's a very multicultural and diverse country. 1 in 6 Canadians is an immigrant, including my parents. So that reflects the welcoming nature of the country, the diversity of languages, of cultures, and excuse me, and the respect that Canadians hold for all religions, all races, all backgrounds. Another great thing about studying in Canada is that 90% of our colleges and universities are public. And so if they're publicly funded institutions, that means that no matter where you're going to school in Canada, you will get a high quality education, because that high quality needs to be maintained in order to maintain our government funding. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of the country. The city of Edmonton and the province of Alberta, I'll give you a little bit of information about that as well. Again, Edmonton is the capital city. So the view that you see now is from the campus facing north across the North Saskatchewan River to the downtown. So you can come for a chai or a coffee to my apartment, which is just on the right of your screen. You're very welcome once you arrive in Edmonton. The city is a major economic hub. We are a clean and safe environment. The cost of living is affordable. And that's what you'll find in the province of Alberta, is that we are known as a top energy producer. So petroleum, oil and gas industries are big. We have a strong economy with high salaries, lots of opportunities for undergraduate work, experiences and work opportunities, even for international students. And not very far away from the city of Edmonton, you find the beautiful Rocky Mountains. This is a view of Moraine Lake, which is my favorite place in the Rocky Mountains. So it's definitely a beautiful city and a beautiful province to explore. Living in Edmonton is a very comfortable and affordable place to live as a student. You can enjoy a very relaxed and comfortable student lifestyle. Even though we do get cold weather, it does get cold. We do get snow. You'll find that everywhere in Canada for the most part. We are a northern city, so we do get more sunlight than most other major cities. Our river valley is full of hiking and cycling trails. Over 50 festivals annually. We have a great foodie scene and a great music scene. So it's a great place to live and work as a student. Take it away, Nicole.
Great, thanks, Khadija. So a little bit about the University of Alberta. So we are ranked number 4 in Canada in terms of research-based universities. In terms of world rankings, we're ranked number 81 in terms of research output. So this kind of gives you a little overview of some of our top ranked programs. So within the top 10 in the world. So forestry, geology, and petroleum engineering rank number 5 in the world. Paleontology, number 3, transplantation, number 6, and sports-related programs are ranked number 7. And we're very, we're becoming more recognized as well for our research in artificial intelligence as well. We have over 40,000 students from 156 different countries. And of those, about 7,000, just over 7,000 are international students. When looking at graduate student population, we're looking at more of like 40% of graduate students at the University of Alberta are international students. So it's quite significant. Some other important points, especially we're number 2 in Canada in terms of graduate employment. So what that means is that graduates of the University of Alberta are valued by employers, and you're more likely to get hired by employers. We're first and only Faculty of Native Studies in North America, and we are one of the greenest employers in Canada as well. And so here is a little snapshot of one of our professors that we're very proud of right now. Virologist Dr. Michael Houghton was awarded the 2020 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in recognition of his discovery of the hepatitis C virus. And so this professor, he works in the Li Ka-shing Institute of Virology, which is internationally recognized for its excellence in that field. And they are currently working on a vaccine for COVID-19 as well. So a little bit about the University of Alberta, founded in 1908. We are ranked in the top 120 universities worldwide and within the top 5 in Canada. We have 18 faculties and over 200 undergraduate specializations. And in terms of graduate research areas, you're looking at more like over 500 different specializations. Like I said, about 15% of all of our students are international students, and we have the second highest research funding in Canada. So a little bit about our campuses, because we do have a number of different campuses. Our main campus is the North Campus, where there's about 36,000 students. We have Augustana campus, which is in the city of Camrose, which is a bit of a smaller city. It's about an hour drive southeast of Edmonton. And there you have about 1,000 students. So it's a very kind of close-knit community, a very different type of study experience. And then we also have Campus Saint-Jean, which is our French campus. So that's in Edmonton. It's in kind of a French community of the city where there's about 600 students studying there. And you can find a lot of shops and services and restaurants that are exclusively in French. And we have residences and sports facilities at all of these different campuses for students to access. And so here is a shot of our North Campus, where this is where the majority of students study at the University of Alberta. So 36,000 students are based here. The average class size is about 38 students. And we have over 6,500 students who graduate from the University of Alberta each year. So quite significant.
So that gives you a little bit of an overview of our campuses, of the university. Of course, our colors are green and gold because this is what you see in the autumn season. Our campus is beautifully located in the River Valley. So when all of the leaves change color in the autumn, it is my favorite season on campus anyway. It's the most beautiful. And lots of opportunities to explore you know, the city of Edmonton, to explore the top 100 institution that we are. We do also have some amazing facilities on our campus. So we are home to the National Institute of Nanotechnology for Canada. That's located right on the U of A campus. So anyone interested in nano engineering, nanotech, nanoscale system design, it's a place to be. We're home to the Centennial Center for Interdisciplinary Science. It's a brand new science teaching and learning facility that's a few years old. Definitely wasn't there when I was in school, but you know, is home to many collaborative teaching and learning facilities. The Edmonton Clinic Health Academy is a very progressive health sciences integrated learning institution. We have second largest library collection. There are over 10 libraries on the University of Alberta campus, and they are also connected with the City of Edmonton Public Library System. So you're able to access all of those collections. Our classrooms are technologically advanced. They are ecologically and sustainably designed as well. We have some of the best teaching hospitals in Western Canada located on our campus, as well as over 400 individual research labs and facilities. So if you're interested in exploring some of the programs that we offer, please take a look at uab.ca/programs. That is the search engine where you can explore all of the different majors, minors, certificate programs, all of the different options that we do offer. So again, this is a view of the River Valley with the campus on the left, the Metro Bridge, and the downtown on the right. So this is a view facing west in the city. Again, you can explore all of the different programs and all of the different faculties. We do have 18 faculties. Majority of our faculties are direct entry from high school into an undergraduate or bachelor's degree program. If you're interested in studying business, our Bachelor of Commerce, you would enter into the Faculty of Arts and do a first year of pre-professional study and then enter in your second year into the BCom. If you're interested in studying pharmacy, pharmaceutical science, that's a second year entry after completing some required courses in the Faculty of Science. And for those of you that are interested in postgraduate studies, master's and PhD programs, normally that you would apply to the department or the faculty that you're interested in. Law, medicine, dentistry, anything in rehab med, so physiotherapy, occupational therapy, public health, these are all professional degrees or second degrees. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about applying. I'm just going to highlight some of our larger faculties and some of our more popular faculties. The Faculty of Engineering is one of our more popular programs. We do offer over 21 different specializations in engineering. The engineering program is a 4-year bachelor's program that can be extended to 5 if you're doing a traditional co-op program. So cooperative education, work integrated learning, these are huge in Canada. We're leading the way in work integrated learning experiences. So we do offer a traditional co-op in our Faculty of Engineering. The first year is a common first year, so everyone does the same classes in the first year. You'll choose your major in your second year, and then you graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering with a specialization in whatever area, or in a traditional or a co-op route. So technically, for admission to engineering from high school, we look for English, math, calculus, chemistry, and physics. So next we want to highlight the Faculty of Science. The Faculty of Science is also one of our largest faculties with over 30 different majors available in 7 departments. So any of the pre-med or pre-health sciences are available, neuroscience, integrative physiology, immunology, pharmacology. We offer psychology in the Faculty of Science and the Faculty of Arts, so the department can be offered from both a science or a social science perspective. We are one of the top schools for geology and earth and atmospheric sciences, as well as currently one of the top schools for AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, simulations, and computer science. We're currently ranked behind Harvard and MIT as third for AI and simulations. We also have a very, very healthy computer game design program and computer app development program, where we have a tech incubator that can help you bring your idea or your application or your design and monetize it and bring it to market. So all science degrees have 3 options: general, specialization, and honors levels. And again, we look for 5 subjects for admission to the Faculty of Science, including 2 core science subjects, math and English. For those of you interested in studying in the arts, in social sciences or humanities, our Faculty of Arts is structured in a way to give you a wide foundation in a variety of different liberal arts, humanities, and social sciences pursuits. You can do a major, a minor, as well as a certificate extra to your degree. So for example, I studied political science with a focus in international relations. My minor subject was linguistics. And then I did a certificate in globalization and governance. So you can combine a lot of different areas to sort of get a comprehensive liberal arts degree with the focus on soft skills and research, which is what a lot of employers do look for now. Some of our popular programs include criminology and social sciences, economics. This is where you would do your pre-professional year of requirements for your BCom. We have a great art and design program. Our Bachelor of Design focuses on either industrial, graphic, or physical design, as well as the artistic side of it. Drama and technical theater and media studies is a new program for that we just started in fall 2020. Some of our other faculties include the Faculty of Agriculture, Life, and Environmental Sciences. This is one of our very popular and larger faculties that offers a number of programs, especially in graduate studies, that are quite specialized. All aspects of life sciences, including human ecology, nutrition and food science, food management, dietetics, land reclamation, forest management, as well as one of the only 4-year Bachelor of Science programs in clothing and textile. So if you're interested in textile development, fashion and material culture, or fashion business, we offer one of the only Bachelor of Science programs in that. The other faculty that I wanted to highlight was the School of Business, which is, again, one of the top Bachelor of Commerce programs. We offer a Bachelor of Commerce as well as a Bachelor of Management at our Augustana faculty. So there are 2 options. In the School of Business, you can focus in one of the 4 main areas that we offer, and there's 16 different majors. So accounting, finance, human resources, marketing, entrepreneurship, international trade, all of these different areas you can focus in. And again, we have a traditional co-op business, which extends your degree from 4 to 5 years, and definitely gives you a lot of different options on how to structure your degree and different opportunities for work. So these are some of our more popular, larger programs. Of course, we do have an amazing faculty of education, nursing, kinesiology, sport and recreation, as well as many other programs to choose from. So if you are interested in applying as an undergraduate student to the University of Alberta, applications are open until the 1st of March for fall 2021. So the degree, normally we only have a fall intake for undergraduate. So you would start in September. September to December is fall term. January to April is winter term. So if you haven't submitted an application and you're interested in doing so, please do so. The earlier, the better. You will receive your details in your U Alberta Launchpad portal on how to log in and how to upload your documents for evaluation. Normally, students will accept their offers in the spring, and all final results for high school students are due before the 1st of August. All final results for students wanting to transfer from a Turkish university or college into a bachelor's program are due in mid-June. So all of that information can be found on uab.ca/I-apply or international applications for undergraduate. Nicole, do you want to go over graduate applications a little bit? I think you're on mute, Nicole.
Yeah, there we go. So for graduate applications, it really depends on what individual department you would like to study in. So we're very decentralized when it comes to graduate studies. So I'd encourage you to check out the website of the department you want to apply to, because they each have their own deadlines. For example, programs in arts or education usually have earlier deadlines, like in January, whereas some of the programs in like engineering, usually it's around April sometime. So it's good to check out the website of the department you want to apply to. The absolute minimum in terms of admission requirements for grad studies is a minimum GPA of 3 out of 4 or 70% or a grade of good in your last 2 years of full-time studies. So we're not going to look at your full bachelor degrees. So don't worry if you had a rough first year or something. We're only going to look at those most recent 2 years. And then for the language requirement, we look for an IELTS 6.5 or a TOEFL 90. We'll chat a little bit about Duolingo stuff later. I just want to emphasize, though, that, again, it's important to check out the website of the department you want to apply to, because some departments will require higher requirements than this. So, for example, if you are wanting to study something in the health sciences, they often have a higher language requirement. So it's good to do your research on their individual website. Some other things to consider, are you required to find a supervisor before you apply? So for a master's or a PhD program, assuming you're going to be doing research for that program, you most likely will need to find a professor at the University of Alberta who will agree to supervise your research before you apply. I don't want you to worry about submitting an application. It's $100 if there's no professor who's available to supervise what you want to research. So it's good to have those conversations with professors in advance. Another thing to consider is, are you required to write a GRE or GMAT test before you apply to your program? I get this question a lot. I think those tests are much more common in the United States. But here in Canada and at U Alberta, those are common requirements for business. So if you are wanting to apply for an MBA or a PhD in business, our Department of Economics will also ask for it. So this is kind of an extra exam that you will need to do before you apply for admission. For those few programs. The vast majority of our programs do not require that, though. Start dates. This also varies depending on what department you want to study in. So all of the programs have a September start date. That's when the majority of students start. But there are some departments who will consider a winter start, so January. So again, in terms of when it comes to, planning ahead your timeline as to when to contact a professor, when to submit your application, and when to start, it's good to plan at least a year in advance of when you want to start your program. So again, it's good to check out the website of the department you want to apply to. And I often get asked about conditional admissions. And so what this means is sometimes students may not meet the language requirement yet. Maybe their test score was a little too low. They have to have some time to work on improving it. Some departments, if you're close, you just need a little bit more time, they might consider admitting you on a conditional basis based on you meeting that language requirement before you start your program. So those are some things to consider before applying for a master's or PhD.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicole. So a little bit of information about undergraduate tuition. Your tuition rates are guaranteed. So we will offer a guaranteed tuition that will not increase for the 4-year duration of your program. So for undergraduate studies, your base tuition rate will depend on the faculty or the program that you're into. It could be anywhere from $27,000 per year in tuition up to about $39,500 per year. So this gives you a little bit of an idea of what you would pay for 2 semesters. Your base tuition, again, is guaranteed that it will not increase. So no surprise increases for the duration of your program on your base tuition. Along with your tuition, your investment in your education will include some other fees. So your non-instructional fees include your bus, and Metro Pass, your health and dental plan. Obviously, healthcare is provided free of charge, but we do offer a supplementary health and dental plan. Any of your other non-academic fees, your residence and meal plan and living expense costs, as well as your books and supplies will total an investment of around 38 to about 50,000 Canadian dollars for all of your tuition and living expenses. Again, about 42 to 43,000 is what we would tell most students to budget. And all of these amounts are based on the September 2020 tuition rates. You will get a fee assessment that gives you an idea of what your tuition is based on the number of courses that you're registered in. Most undergraduate students register in 5 courses per term, which is a full course load. You can also use the cost calculator, uab.ca/costcalc, just on the bottom of your screen to get a bit more of an accurate estimate of what your tuition is going to be.
Now for graduate studies, it's the same type of thing. Your tuition is guaranteed, so it won't change throughout the course of your program. So for a thesis-based, like a research-based master's or doctoral program, right now it's at about 10,700 Canadian dollars. If you want to do a course-based master's, so those are kind of usually a little bit shorter. You can do them in a year and a half. Those ones are about 13,200. But I will note that some course-based programs like our Masters of Engineering or an MBA are significantly higher than that. So it's, again, good to check out the website for those specific programs. Living expenses, books and supplies, you're looking at like close to about $20,000 per year. We do have some non-instructional fees, like Khadija was saying, like a supplementary health and dental plan, recreation facilities, your transportation pass, those types of things. So total investment is in the range of about, between 30 to 35,000 Canadian dollars per year.
So along with your tuition, we will offer guaranteed space in the residence for first-year students entering into the freshman year of the program. So if you're applying to the university with an extra $25 on the main application, you can guarantee your residence space. So most first-year students will live in Lister Center or in Peter Lougheed Hall. These are the two main residences that offer a meal plan. But we do have 12 different residences on campus, including a brand new graduate student residence. We have apartment style, condo styles, so single, double, 4 to a unit, 6 to a unit. Again, lots of different options for students to live on campus. In your first year, we would highly recommend that you live on campus. So this reduces your commuting time in the winter and in the snow, and it gives you an opportunity to meet people that will be your best friends for the rest of your degree. A lot of students also play sports and are involved with volunteering and recreation. A lot of support's available to you. You can request, for example, a non-alcoholic floor or a quiet floor or a floor with your cohorts who are in your program. And normally Canadian and international students are paired together as roommates. So it gives you a little bit of an idea about housing. We do also have a lot of housing options off campus that are readily available. So apartments, shared housing in different houses, a lot of on and off campus housing options. For students that are wondering about their English language proficiency, normally we require a 6.5 on your IELTS test with no band score under 5. The TOEFL is around 90 for undergraduate programs. For graduate studies, this may be higher. So you may be required to have a higher TOEFL score for programs such as nursing, education. And we're also accepting the Duolingo test because we know that with the COVID-19 pandemic, it can sometimes be difficult to access in-person testing sites. So we will also accept the Duolingo. For students that are entering directly from a Turkish national diploma. So if you're studying the lise diploması in a Turkish national high school, we are looking for basically 5 subjects, including your English 12. And the minimum grades, again, depend on which faculty. So we will do a conditional offer or an early admission offer based on your grade 11 final results and your grade 12 course registrations or first semester results up to now. And then you can upload those directly into your application, into your Launchpad. If we do require an ESL, then that will be also listed on your checklist. And sometimes they will request for the Turkish Ministry of Education to send your course descriptions, or for your school to send your course descriptions for math, just to make sure that you are covering the topics for calculus, whether that's needed for example, an engineering or a science course. So if you're studying in a Turkish school, if you're completing your lise diploması, again, we look for 5 subjects for admission, and we look for competitive grades in the mid-70s to high 80s for admission. For those of you who are in IB or American schools or other curricula, please join our undergraduate webinar, which I'll be doing next week, so you can learn a little bit more about that.
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about our co-funding agreement. For those of you wanting to do a master's or PhD at the University of Alberta, we do have a co-funding agreement with the Ministry of National Education in Turkey. And what we do is we each provide a little bit of funding for their scholarship recipients. So for those who have a scholarship for a master's, that co-funding agreement is for 2 years, and for a PhD, it's for 4 years. So you can, be rest assured that if you have this scholarship under this agreement, your tuition is completely covered. The ministry will provide you with a living allowance for that period of time as well. I'll emphasize that it's only for thesis-based or research masters not course-based masters, and PhD programs as well. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at your program options. So if you do have the scholarship or you're planning on applying for it, you can send me an email and we can chat more about that. I'll have my email at the end of the presentation. And so this is kind of where my program falls into, because I work very closely with the sponsored students who have this scholarship. So the sponsored student program is very unique in Canada. We have dedicated staff who provide service and support to sponsored students throughout your degree program here. And even as alumni, we often keep touch and will connect at different recruitment events. So yes, if you are applying for this scholarship, let me know and I can kind of assist you with part of the process. So some of the things I can help you with: assessing if you meet the minimum admission requirements for the program that you want to apply to. Finding a potential supervisor. So like I had mentioned before, if you're wanting to do a research-based program, it's important to start that communication with professors so I can kind of help scholarship recipients with that. That way I can kind of update the professor on that co-funding agreement as well. Can answer any questions about the application process, and I'll continue to be, you know, an advisor throughout your degree program. You know, whatever questions you might have during your studies here, I can kind of point you in the right direction or give you some support as needed. Katisha, did you want to do this one?
Yeah, so again, we will support you all the way through your degree. We offer an airport pickup, a 3-day international student orientation. We have dedicated international student advisors that will help you renew your visa, your study permit, look for volunteering or work opportunities, and you will be supported with all of the international student services throughout your degree. We also offer, again, lots of opportunities for work integrated learning. So as an international student, you can work full-time, you can work part-time, and we are definitely there with an international career advisor to help you find those opportunities. We are a wonderfully diverse campus, so we do offer all different types of sports and recreation. We're a pretty big sports school, so we have 24 different varsity teams. We're home to the Golden Bears and the Pandas. What you see is our brand new climbing wall facility. So if you're interested in learning how to do climbing or learning how to ice skate, of course, ice hockey is an obsession in Canada, so you will learn to love it. And you can access all of the facilities, the pools, any of the racket sports, the gym, the track, the workout centers. You can access all of that with your U of A ID card. And of course, you can go to any of the games that we offer. We're a strong school in volleyball, soccer, and ice hockey. And we also offer lots of opportunities for you to get involved in campus life. So definitely as a student, you can take advantage of any sports and recreation, any types of leisure recreation. You can find our mascots at a football game, and you can join one of over 450 different clubs. So if you're interested in writing for our newspaper or doing a radio show for our radio station, or if you're interested in skiing or outdoors or Model United Nations or speech and debate or international volunteerism, music, literally anything you can think of, you'll find your passion. And again, you can celebrate all of the different cultural and festival activities that Edmonton has to offer. I mentioned earlier that we are one of the great things about studying in Canada is that you have the opportunity to work while you go to school. So you can work part-time up to 20 hours a week as a student, full-time when you're on breaks from school. We will offer traditional co-op programs in engineering and business. There's a science internship program, which is a 4-month paid internship for science students. In the Faculty of Arts, there's, of course, work experience and arts integrated learning experiences. And you definitely will have an opportunity to gain some type of formal or informal paid and unpaid work experience as a student. We also have a career center that will help you with your resume, with interview skills, and with finding different placements. And then once you graduate, you can apply for what's called a postgraduate work permit. This allows you to work legally in Canada for up to 3 years. I think it's the next slide, Nicole. So that once you graduate, you can gain even further work experience in the Canadian workforce. We have one of the top graduate employment rates in the country. So U of A students get recognized and definitely are able to find meaningful work opportunities. And then you can also apply for your permanent residence during that postgraduate work permit period if your desire is to stay in Canada. So this is a little bit of an overview of the University of Alberta. We've given you an introduction to the university, to our top ranking programs, our affordable tuition, guaranteed housing, and some of our amazing opportunities in terms of employment. So hopefully that gives you a nice intro and overview of the university. I will be again doing an undergraduate focused webinar in the next few days with IEFT, and my colleague Nicole will also be doing a postgraduate specific and sponsored student specific webinar coming up. So if you want more information, please make sure you register for those as well. So we do have some time. Teşekkür ederim. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask these questions. I've been responding to some questions that are in the chat box. I have a question from Merve about, is it expensive to live in Edmonton? Actually, it's one of the most affordable major cities. So Edmonton is not too big to be overwhelming or expensive or distracting, but not so small that you're bored or isolated. It's a perfect size city. And in the province of Alberta, our VAT and tax levels, we don't have a provincial sales tax. So it's about 5% tax on goods and services compared to maybe 12 to 15% in BC or in Ontario. The price of groceries and of petrol is very affordable. And again, you receive a bus and metro pass with your non-instructional fees. So you're able to access the public transit system and get around the city quite easily. I had another question about recommending thesis-based or course-based masters to increase the chances of employment. Nicole, do you want to tackle that one?
Sure, yeah. I would say it depends on what you want for your employment after you graduate. If you are wanting to work in industry or, the private sector, or, if, a course-based master's is just that. You just do courses and then you have a small project at the end. Whereas if your career goal is to get more into research, or you want to continue on to a PhD, you want to work in, the higher education sector, then a research-based master's is more the route that you'd want to take. So yeah, I think you'd have to just assess what you are looking for in terms of your career after your master's to determine which is the best choice.
So there was a question about virtual openings, campus tours for those who study in high school. We actually do have campus ambassadors that do tours. However, the University of Alberta campus is currently restricted in terms of access because of the coronavirus situation. However, we do offer a number of different awards that you can apply to if you're, for example, a part of robotics, Model UN, if you've been involved with schoolwork, if you've made contributions to the leadership or service to your community with your projects, you can apply for those application-based leadership awards, as well as be eligible for the academic grades-based awards. So there's two different types of awards that you can apply for. The application-based awards are actually, the deadline was December 15th for fall 2020. But if you're in year 11, then definitely you can access those awards for the previous year. Your participation in extracurricular activities will not affect your admission, however. We do quantitative admissions at the undergrad level, which means you do not need to submit a personal statement, any letters of recommendation, any essays, none of that. All we look at for admission to your program is your grades, and then we will look at your extracurricular and service activities on the application-based scholarships. So that should give you a little bit of an idea about that. Eda was asking about partner companies that provide internships or job opportunities. We actually do have a large job and career fair open house where over 200 different corporations will come to campus to speak to students directly. Again, in every faculty, you will have options for work integrated learning, whether it's a traditional co-op education program, whether it's in a community service learning position, whether it's an internship. So you definitely have lots of opportunities to connect with corporations to find meaningful employment. I had a question, or Nicole, do you want to answer the question about computer science, the master's in computer science?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I see one about wanting to do the master's in machine learning, and if I would, it's a second master's, so what the GPA, what they would look at. So they're only going to look at your last 2 years. So if they're going to look at your coursework in your master's. So if your master's was 2 years, they're going to focus on your GPA for that. If your master's was 1 year, they'll look at your GPA for your master's and then your last year of your bachelor. So the key thing is that they will just look at your most recent 2 years of studies, no matter what type of program it was. And now in terms of the eligibility for Master of Computing Science, same type of thing in terms of the GPA requirement. It's a minimum of 3 out of 4 or 70% in your last 2 years of full-time studies. In terms of the language requirement, I'll just double check, but I'm quite sure it's a little bit higher than the minimum. They typically ask for an IELTS 7.0 or TOEFL 100. So it's a little bit higher than the typical minimum. And I see a question early on about if you can do a master's in physiotherapy or a related minor as an international student. Yes, our Faculty of Rehabilitation Science has physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and those programs are open to international students to apply as well.
How are we doing for time, Zainab?
We are in our 48 minutes, so
final time. Are there any other final questions that you may have that we haven't answered?
No, I think you answered all of the questions.
Great.
Awesome. Again, if you're interested in connecting with us, please send us, either of us, an email. I'm responsible for undergraduate and Nicole will be responsible for scholarship and sponsored students as well as postgraduate inquiries. Again, we will both be doing specific webinars a little bit later on in February. So if you're interested in learning more about undergraduate, please sign up for my following seminar. If you're interested in learning more about postgraduate and sponsorship opportunities, please register for Nicole's upcoming webinar. And we're very, very happy that you could all join us today. Teşekkür ederim for all of your attention. And we wish you all best of luck. Kolay gelsin with all of your studies. And we hope to see you in Edmonton on this side of the ocean in Canada for your studies in the future. So thank you all very much for attending.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
Yes, thank you very much, Khadija and Nicole, for your presentation. We believe it was a really informative webinar for the attendees, and you put a real effort answering all of the questions. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. University of Alberta ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Khadija ve Nicole'un paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. İyi hafta sonları dileriz hepinize. Thank you again, guys. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thanks to you. Have a great day. Güle güle.
Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.